Hello, Rebecca Vigas, the writer whisperer here, and I want to talk to you about why write WRITE now and why write RIGHT now. I have 10 reasons, 10 that writers don't write. Let's start with do it now while you can. Do not even bother to wait until you retire. Do it now while you all have your faculties, everything else. Do it now. Okay? No one else can write your story. It's not like I can shrink myself down, crawl into your ear, find my way to your brain, pull out the story ideas, and come back out and then write it. Not going to happen ever. You have to do it. It's your story. Waiting for your muse, the right time, inspiration is just another form of procrastination. If you are waiting for inspiration, the right time, or your muse, you could die waiting for them. You need to do it now, not later. You will never know if you can actually write a book if you don't try. And part of that is fear of being judged by family and friends, fear that no one will like what you write. Get over yourself. Just write the book because I know everyone has a story to tell. You will never know if you can be a successful author if you don't write the book. No book, no sales, no income, no potential movie rights. You will never know, ever, if you don't write the book. Lucky number 6 is someone's going to steal your idea and write their own story. I know someone this happened to. She was in a writing group and she was sharing bits and pieces because that's what you do, especially when you are stuck or can't quite make the connection to how you want it to connect. And she went into the writing group one day, and this guy's got his book all published. And he starts reading it. And she frowns a little bit. And he reads about 3 chapters. And she's dumbfounded. He's taken her idea and put his own spin on it. What's the point in her finishing her novel? You cannot copyright ideas. And generally, in writing groups, the one thing you can't do is steal an idea. Obviously, this guy didn't care. And she never finished the book. Lucky number 7. No one is promised tomorrow. Live every day like it's your last one, because no one's promising you will wake up in the morning or you will make it through the day. And if you haven't written your book, it won't ever be written. Number 8, you'll feel better when you get it written. Trust me, I know. I have, on any given day, a million ideas right up here. The ones that scream the loudest are the ones that get written. And once they're written, the screaming stops. And I feel so much better. And I'm relieved to have it done. Most authors are like this. It's the idea that keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps coming back that you got to get written. Okay. Number 9. This is the best time to be writing. It is so much easier to get published today than it was in 1978. And that's when I first published. Okay, the book was a travesty, but it got published. And it got republished in 2004. Imagine that. And I added a second book to it. And here's the bigger surprise. My book designer is getting it ready for its 3rd edition. My goal is to have it out by August 3rd. So yeah, books do get rewritten. They get things added, they get things subtracted. Depends on the book. And finally, and this is probably the most important reason you should be writing right now, your words matter. Somewhere in the world, something you write is going to resonate with someone. And if you don't write that book, that someone won't ever hear what you have to say. And it may be the thing that changes their life. And you may never know that you've changed a life. People may never tell you. This person could be 2, 3 continents away from where you are. And you will never know, but you will have changed their life. You will have given hope. You will have given a lifeline. But you will have changed a life. I wrote a book. Oh, I think it came out in 2005. It was called So You Think You Want to Be a Mommy. When I was student teaching at Flint Northern High School, that's in Michigan for those who don't know, the last week of school, all the young girls that had babies dressed up their babies and brought them into school. Not sure why the school allowed this, but they did. If you had one baby, you were at this level of, I don't know what you'd call it exactly, but you were at this level. If you had two babies, you came up a level. Wonderful, right? So you go from here to here, and you're up a level. If you have three babies, yeah, you go up that third level. And if you've had one every year, you are at the supreme level of motherhood. It was a status symbol. You were tier one, tier two, tier three, or top status. Okay. I was a young mother at that time. My daughter was not quite 10. And I thought, what in the world? Babies are not a status symbol. And I didn't think any more about it. I went on to start teaching. And in 2004, in the spring of the year, one of my eighth grade students, a girl, said to me, Miss Vegas, I can't wait to get to high school, meet a guy, and have a baby. At which point I just went like this. What are we teaching our girls? Because it's the wrong message. And I wrote the book, All the Reasons Why You Don't Want to Be a Teenage Mom. And I talked to young girls who had babies. Some were raising them alone, some of them had gotten married. One young lady had her first baby at 15 and her fifth baby at 20. And all five of her children were given up for adoption. And her story's in the book, along with, I don't know, three or four others. I learned a couple of years later, after this young girl tells me this, from her sister, that her sister had read my book. I said, oh, Miss Vigus, she's going to graduate in 2 years and she wants to be, or in a year, and she wants to go to college to be a nurse. Super. I'm happy for her. She met several boys while she was in college or in high school. Didn't have a baby with any of them. She did go on to become a nurse. And then she met her husband. And they have 2 little boys. And I saw her probably 3 years ago at her cousin's wedding. And she said to me, "Miss Vegas, I'm so glad I read your book because I'm so much happier now." Because she wasn't a teen mom trying to raise a baby and get an education. She got the education first. You don't always know when your words are going to make a difference, but they matter. 98% of people want to write a book. Of that 98%, 1,000 actually start writing. That's not a lot of people when you look at the population. 33 of those 1,000 actually finish their book. That's 33%, folks. Thirty-three people have finished a book. Of those 33 people, 0.6% actually publish their book or have it published. I haven't figured that out in how many people that is, but it's roughly about maybe 5 that actually have a published book when they're done. Only 0.2% of those people who write a book and get it published become millionaires. So, of those 5 people, maybe 2.5% or 2.5 of them become millionaires. I'm not sure how half a person works, but 2 definitely do. And those who do have learned to do other things besides write. Their books get made into movies, they lecture, they teach courses. The bottom line is everyone has a story to tell. Your words matter, and you need to be writing right now. Happy writing, all.